Howdy y'all, today is October 14th. It was kind of rainy and misty earlier today. It's cleared up at least now, just cloudy. It's in the 50s, not terrible, not great. But rain or shine, day or night, I'm getting these roosters gone today. So I just finished up all the chickens out here. They're doing good. The Boston Marins, I let them out. And still have to do the chicks and then set up for the roosters, start working on them. So that's the main focus for today. While Houdini's out running around, I think it'd be a good time to go ahead and put some bedding in the nesting boxes. Hopefully it'll last a little longer. Houdini doesn't miss a beat. She is currently circling this trash can. She cannot wait to tear this straw up. So it's not going to take long, I have a feeling. I might just throw some on the ground for her to play in. Maybe she'll forget about her own nesting box. The water's at 150. I have it sitting right now on low, so keep it around that temp or even a little higher, that'll be fine. And I'll go ahead and grab the first rooster. It's definitely not my favorite job on the farm. It's definitely one of my least favorites. But don't have use for all these roosters, so I gotta get them gone. And I think there's 6 more, so last time I did this, I think I started around 5. I think it's about 2 o'clock now, so I should be able to get through everything before dark. That's the hope, at least. 4 roosters down, 2 more to go. I'm changing the water on this because it's getting a little gross. And it's sitting at about 100 right now, so it'll take another 10 minutes to get going, 10, 15. It's super windy and it's misting. I actually had a rain come through in the middle of me offing one rooster, so that wasn't very nice. But it was pretty quick, thankfully. It's just really cold. I can see my breath out there. I think we're sitting in the low 50s, high 40s. I haven't actually looked yet, but it's chilly. So only 2 more to go. And then after that is just bagging and going to the freezer. Well, y'all, I have 1 free coop now. All the roosters are gone. I'm really glad that's over with. If they were hatched at a hatchery, they would have just been ground up from the day they were born. So they at least had a good run. They had a nice life, and they'll be tasty, but not my favorite thing to do. Good morning, y'all. Today is October 15th. Gorgeous fall morning. I'm out here rounding up some extension cords because I'm going to need those at the larger property. I plan on running the chicks out into that mobile coop, so they're going to need a heat lamp. I'm also going to have to hook up a fence. So there's some work to do there, but that's the goal for today. Also, looking at that chicken coop, my dad and I, before we started that project, the winter chicken coop, had talked about the potential of needing a permit. I wasn't too worried about it. But now that it's up and I've been looking at it, we've both been looking at it, it's a pretty good sized project, and it has me a little worried that I may need a permit. So I went ahead and emailed them just to see what their size limits are or specifications or anything. So I haven't done much work on that at all. Mine is just the initial day on it. So anyways, we'll just wait and see what the county says on it. That coop's going to be the same as these though, but just a larger scale. It's just going to be chicken wire and plastic, no walls, no roof or anything like that. So it's a weekend. I probably won't hear anything until Monday, but hopefully hear something pretty soon so I can keep going on that. All right, chickens are taken care of. Now I've got to take down this net here. I'll probably take down this one. That white one's pretty sturdy. They're both about the same length. I think it was around 165 feet. So it doesn't really matter too much, but since this one's closer, I'm gonna take this one. I'll probably have to wind up moving this more because it was already kind of tough with 3 coops. I was moving that net every other day. So it might become an every other day thing again. We'll see. I'm gonna start pulling the coops back toward the barn. It's just getting to that time of the year, and it took them, I started them maybe in here, not quite up to the post. It took them all year to even get where they're at. I haven't even used half of the property. But this year I didn't have all the coops out at the start either. Just started with 1, and maybe every month got another one out. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take this down and start setting up for the chicks. Man, this is a super tiny circle. I have it butted up to the back of the coops, and it only goes up to here. So yeah, that's probably, I can get 2 days out of that, 3 days on these coops. It's the edge coops that are kind of tough. So I'm glad the season's about over for that, because it's going to be cold and not much fun moving that net every couple days. You can see why I definitely needed the other one. I just can't put those chicks out here because they need that heat lamp. That'd be a far run for that. So, got to go down to 1 net for these guys. Get the Energizer hooked up and then drag this net up to the barn. So far I've got 1 heat lamp hooked up. Got it zip tied up here real good so it can't slide around. Going over some more zip ties. And then I'll come down here, plug in. I'm going to put 1 more heat lamp out here for them just while they're getting used to it because it is a bit windier. They don't need it in the barn so much, but out here while they're adjusting, I'm going to be nice since they are still little. Anyway, this is just running over to the side of the barn there. And I haven't quite finished the fence yet, but it's just connected to the barn and going to come out and around the coop. And there's the setup. It's just a small little circle that connects, and then this 1 run ties into the barn. I still have yet to do that, but heat lamps are on. I got the water out there. I'll grab their food, and then we'll grab the chicks. There's the electric hookup to the fence. Hillbilly rig per usual. It's good enough for temporary. I've just got it hooked up to the little clip here, and they're good. I am so glad to have those chicks out of the barn. They're just getting way too big for that tub. Having to change it all the time. They're kind of dusty, messy things too. Howdy, out today is October 16th. Cloudy, kind of chilly. About the same as it was yesterday. Maybe a little less wind. Chickens are all done. It does look like I'll get maybe 2 poles out of that before I have to move the net completely. So, not terrible, I guess. The chicks are settling in really good. They did fine. They're doing fine. Need to go pick up some more chick food. It's kind of nice today. I don't have anything super pressing to do, so I'm finally going to clean the barn because it is just a bit of a mess in there. There's just so much going on, and yeah, it just needs organized a little bit better. So I'm going to work on that for the next, I don't know, hour or so until I'm happy with it. I did hear back from the county on the permit for the chicken coop, and I don't need one if it's under 200 square feet. And I had mine pegged around 400-ish square feet, so I would need a permit. But what I'm thinking about doing at the moment is putting it in the same spot, but just cutting it in half. So I have 2 200 square foot coops. It won't really look too terribly much different from the original plan, but it gets me out of having to deal with all the permit and red tape and stuff. So that's probably what I'm gonna wind up doing, but probably work on that a little more later this week. Just cleaning the barn today. Plenty in stock today. Love that. Howdy, yeah. Today is October 17th. It's absolutely gorgeous out. So nice to see the sun. It's been cloudy the past few days, so really appreciate that. While it's such nice weather, I've been doing some planting. I have a few things left over from the farm warming party that I just didn't have time to get in the ground and the weather was kind of gross. So I finished up the mums. They're all around a post up front. And I have a few trees here that I want to get planted out in the woodsy part. Doesn't look like much of a woods now, but in the future it will be. So y'all remember earlier this year I donated to the Arbor Day Foundation, and then they sent me 10 little trees that were maybe yay tall. They were really small. I think there's about 12 of them out here. And when I came to water them once, I saw nearly half, over half had been snipped off by something. Rabbit, mouse, I have no idea. So that was pretty disheartening, and then after that I quit paying attention to them because I figured they all got killed off. So I have flags out here where they were. I'm gonna find those, see if they're still alive or if they all got clipped off, and then plant some of these trees in their spots. I'll be honest, y'all, I'm not a huge fan of walking through this tall grass without boots on. Y'all should see some of the spiders. I just walked up on one. I don't know if you can see him, if it focuses in or not. That's a big old orb weaver. Actually, something just flew in his web. Kind of interested to see if he'll go for it. But yeah, I don't want to walk into one of those. Oh my gosh, there's another one over here. Anyways, the flag is right here. I don't see a tree. I'm gonna dig around a little bit. I might go put my boots on just so a spider doesn't crawl up my leg, and then go ahead and plant one in here. I can't believe it, but this tree is looking good. I feel like this one was the dogwood. It still has the white paint on it down there. Don't know. There it is. Y'all can see it a little bit. But it looks pretty good. That's awesome to see. I'll have to go double check what that one is. Man, there are a ton of those orb weavers out here. I can't imagine what else is lurking in this grass. My dad saw a snake out here not too terribly long ago. It was small, but still. Spiders and snakes, not a huge fan, but I'll live with them. As long as they're not running up on me, I'm okay. I just tucked my jeans into my socks rather than get my boots. Back when I was walking fields of tall grass, you know, up to your shoulders, or believe me, it was up to your shoulders. There's some crazy tall grass. But bugs and spiders and stuff would fall into my muck boots. I mean, you don't know it till the end of the day. You take your boots off and you got all these little fang marks. It's a little creepy, 'cause you know that a spider was in there and got you. Luckily, nothing ever poisonous, but just the fact that there was a spider in your boot, not a huge fan of that. So anyway, I'm gonna keep looking for these trees. All right, I found a spot with a tree that didn't make it, so in its place, I'm going to put this peach tree. There it is, looks pretty good. That is on the outside of the first turn there. I see an orb weaver over here. He's got some dinner he's munching on. I happen to see another web out there. I know I've walked through so many of these. Ugh. I haven't been to the back of the property in a little while. It looks weird seeing this soybean field completely harvested. Just all flat and bare out there. Too many spiders for me, y'all. Everywhere I step, there's a massive spider, so I'm just gonna let them do their thing, and then I'll get to the trees when I get to the trees. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of spiders. If I had to get it done, then I would get it done. But that's kind of just one of the projects. I do want to do it before it gets too chilly out. The next few weeks look really nice though, surprisingly, for being mid-October already. But I know it's coming. It's going to drop off and get ugly, so I'll get to it, but hopefully by then spiders will be gone, or at least fewer. So the new approach on these chicken coops, instead of building one big one where I would need a permit, I'm going to do basically the same thing, but just build two. So it's still going to be in the same spot, but there's going to be about a 4-foot gap between them. So that gets me out of needing to get a permit, and it's still all in the same place. It's just a little bit more work, spot, really nothing that terrible. It's still basically the same game plan. My dad's been doing all the work on that again, so thank you so much, Dad. Howdy y'all, today is October 18th, hitting up the discount wood here, 70% off, and it'll be perfect for chicken coop building, just some of the stuff that's not structurally important. Well y'all, got the wood all unloaded. If it wasn't on sale, it would have been $61. I got all that for 18 bucks. So that's a pretty big savings. I'm super happy about that. I've already done the chicken chores, but I am gonna put some straw in the nesting boxes because they tend to kick that out a little faster than they do the hay. But other than that, they're done. The chicks, they're all moved. They're pretty slow. They don't have that figured out quite yet, but they're getting it. So doing a little bit of work on the chicken coop today. Mostly my dad's doing that. I'm still cleaning that barn. Howdy y'all, today is October 20th, cloudy, windy, cold. About the same as it's kind of been all week. We had one nice sunny day. I'm freezing right now. I'm just about to do the chickens. I've got someone here that wants eggs, so I'm gonna load them up. Also have to get ready for the farm to be open. I've got just a little over an hour. So that should be pretty quick and simple to set up because the garden's not doing too much at this point. So I'll probably just throw a thing of peppers, some tomatoes. Just about fell on my butt. I can't tell you how many times I've tripped over this net and just face planted. Maybe not quite face planted. I at least catch myself, but man, it's so easy to get tripped up in those. Anyway, let's see what the chickens are doing in here. We'll check on the buffs first and get everybody moved. Picking tomatoes from this little cherry here. One paying attention. Just about stuck my hand on that thing. That would not have been nice. That's a small one compared to some of the ones out back. Man. Getting down to slim pickings on the tomatoes. There's a few that are decent. So far I have an assortment of cherries that pass the test of looking good. But a lot of these are just not looking as good as they used to, so I'm gonna kind of rifle through, see if I can find anything that's sellable, and then the rest will just be chicken food. Could be the last week for tomatoes. People do like green tomatoes though. I have plenty of those left. So there's still some pretty decent tomatoes out here. It's mostly the ones that are kind of underneath that I didn't stake up really well. We haven't had any terribly hard frosts yet, but it has been pretty chilly. I think we're getting down to 37 over the weekend, but next week there's actually a 75 in the forecast, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's just slim pickings out here. The pumpkins are still blooming. I've got a few little ones that are just about ready. Other than that, it's pretty slim pickings. I mean, there's definitely still some good tomatoes in here. I see quite a few good ones really, but some are just getting a little mushy because we have had some cold weather. The peppers, they're not producing as well. The plants still look decent, but you can tell they're kind of getting discolored a little. The farm is officially open. Got some eggs out there, a couple things of tomatoes, some squash, eggplant, things like that. But I'm pretty much done with the garden at this point. I'm not gonna bother rifling through all the little stuff at this point. Got other things I need to work on. And right now I have one chick from the Australorps. It has a bad leg where it's just splaying out. I noticed it a couple days ago, didn't do anything, but the chick seems like it's doing all right and it's pretty strong. So what I'm gonna do, I have an empty tub. I'm going to just divide the chicks in half and make a little splint for that one chick. That way he's not just getting, or she's not getting all stepped on. And we'll see if that helps it out. See, it's this one there, kind of flopping around a little bit, kind of buried in that mess. And you can't really see. There's just so many chicks in there that I think it's a little too tight. And if I cut them down in half, help kind of prop that leg up a little bit for him. There you can see it splayed out. I think since chicks grow so quick that hopefully they'll be able to get around better, can shorten the little thing I'm going to put on there every day, and hopefully it'll make a full recovery. Pulling out the old vet box here, I'm going to grab some vet wrap, which is this right here. So I have this bin all set up, and all I'm going to use is this little strip I cut off. I'm going to wrap it around the bad leg and tie it to his good leg. Basically, it should slowly start pinching that leg in so he gets it up underneath himself. That's the idea, at least. And then you got to check this every day because chicks grow so quick that you don't want this to ever get too tight on their leg. You also have to adjust it. So we'll see if it works, but this is the best shot that chick has at walking normal, I think. So you can see this leg here splayed out pretty good. It's almost backwards, but I'm gonna give this a shot. Gonna wrap it around the good leg first. I tried to warm my hands up a little bit for her. This stuff sticks really good, so all you do is pinch it on there like that. And it can easily move, turn, no worries. Now this bad leg, oh my gosh. Sorry, little one, it's okay. Take a break. But yeah, it's bent pretty bad. Almost done. That. Pinch that on there real good and tight. So it looks something like that. So now it pulls it in. Sorry, this is a bad camera angle. But you can see the chick at least has that leg underneath itself now. So it's gonna take some time for it to get used to walking like that. It's not the easiest with the band on. That's why we want to make it as small as possible, yet still have the strength to it so it can hold that leg in. So we'll keep that on there for about 24 hours, see what it's looking like, reevaluate it tomorrow, and adjust if needed. The last time I tried this, the chicks were a lot younger. I had one that just was kind of splayed out like that, one leg, and it didn't make it. This one's older, so I have a little bit higher hopes, but we'll just keep an eye on it. Look at that, the sun came out, y'all. That's so nice. I think it's about 6 o'clock now. I've got the chickens all done. I tripped in that net while I was carrying their water in. Spilled it all over my legs and my feet, so that's nice. Thankfully, I've warmed up a little bit just because I've been moving, but it's still kind of chilly. Anyway, that's taken care of. I still have to do the mare and Coop. The other chicks in the barn, the Australorps, they're good. And that chick's actually doing really good with that little wrap I put on her 2 legs. So that's great to see. She's not a huge fan of it, so she keeps trying to peck it off, but her legs are both underneath her, which is awesome. She doesn't have that one just laying out there. So that's good to see. But have some family out here picking some stuff from the garden because I'm done with it. There's still some good stuff, but it's the end of the season. I'm not gonna mess with it. So family and friends, y'all are welcome to come out with buckets and take what you like.